Yes, ready. You can make me. We start with this photo. We make us the photo.
Good.
I'm here with Michael Iskas,
Great.
president of the Story Lab. The Story Lab, the center is in the United States. On which countries are you radicated?
The Story Lab exists in 16 countries.
16
right
countries,
now.
but the headquarters?
Headquarters is in London.
Okay, in
That's
London.
where I'm based.
Not so far away. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the Story Lab? If you can explain me, Michael. And why is it coming to Spain this year now?
Yes,
because 16 markets, and now it's the turn of Spain, no?
You should have come here earlier.
Yes, that's what
why
I asked you.
I'm sorry about that.
Why you come here
My
now?
apologies. The Story Lab is owned by Dentsuitz's network, and it's Dentsuitz's network's premium entertainment content business.
Okay.
What does this mean? It means that we fund, we invest in premium entertainment,
Okay.
we produce it, and we distribute it. If I was to really simplify it, we do this for two different kinds of clients. We do it for advertisers who want premium entertainment content to engage with their audiences outside of ads, and we do a lot of this content, original advertiser-funded content, content partnerships, and we service these needs of these advertisers. And the second kind of set of clients we have are producers. Independent producers who are big in the country, and they produce shows that get commissioned by the biggest TV channels in the world, and they're looking for a partner to help them finance some of their productions, a partner to help them distribute their shows internationally, and also a partner who is going to help them market the shows in really innovative, digital or social or just purely innovative ways to take the shows to audiences that wouldn't be taking them otherwise. So, in 2 minutes, this is what Story Lab does.
Okay. Which elements define the premium content?
Premium content, well, different people can define premiumness differently, and I don't want to be disrespectful to people who define premium as something that it might be more artistic than my definition, but for the purposes of this business conversation, I would say the way we define premium internally is content that attracts a significant amount of people, mass audiences, a critical mass of people. Okay. So, if a lot of people are paying to go to the cinema to watch this content, if advertisers are paying a lot of money to advertise against this content to reach a critical mass of people, if this content is going to go on prime time television, well, this tends to be defined informally by us as premium entertainment.
Because people like premium content. People see Netflix, people see a lot of good series. At this moment, everything is going like premium. No, we don't like to spend to waste our time in things that are not so interesting. We have a lot of offers to see a lot of things. How can the advertisers go in this niche and make good content? Because the advertisers logically they want their brands in the content, no, in the series, or they want at the beginning to be there. It's not difficult for you to say to the advertiser, I have to make a good content and be some like this, no? Don't be always in the middle.
Advertisers want to influence a critical mass of audiences.
With their brands
and change the purchase behavior.
Yes,
this is what advertising does.
Yes.
So whatever an advertiser does, it needs to reach a significant amount of people. If an advertiser is going to produce content that nobody watches, it's a waste of money.
And it is happening.
There
is the Meaningful Brands study from Habas Media, and they say that 60% of people say, content of the consumers, they asked 3,000 consumers in all Europe, they say the content we are seeing is not very interesting, the content marketing of the advertisers. Coming from brands. So there is a little problem. What can we do in the industry to make this better?
Our first reaction to this question from advertisers is that they need to think distribution first.
Okay, that's right.
Because there is a tendency to always wanting to start with the idea, wanting to start with the brand, wanting to start with, are we going to produce a 2-hour film or a vignette or 3-minute, or is it a Snapchat kind of small series? In reality, the first question any advertiser should be asking is, where do I want to be this content to be distributed, and who do I want to watch this content? If you start with this, you start behaving like a studio business. You start behaving like you are in the content business. Because when a studio invests 100 million or 200 million to producing a feature film, they're producing a 2 hours or a 90 minutes feature film to be distributed in theaters to reach a family audience, or to reach a teenage audience, or to reach a female audience. And they start with this audience in mind, and with the theaters on a given date in a given country, and that's what they think in distribution first. So you have to start thinking and behaving more as a content business, if you're an advertiser, than an advertiser who always starts with what is the brand message I want to tell. I will produce a beautiful piece of film around this brand message, then I will find the way to get it in front of people, because most of the times you won't.
I think that most advertisers have to learn from Walt Disney. They make the film, the content, they make the parks, the park where you pay, they make all the merchandising you pay also, they make it all. I think it's a good model for learning for other advertisers. I think it's not easy, but this is the model. The Walt Disney, they make it very good. Okay, we
and
follow.
At the end of the day, if you're making content that nobody wants to watch, nobody wants to advertise against, and people are asking for money to carry it on their channels, asking for money to put it on their platforms, well, maybe you shouldn't be making content.
That's right, that's right. Sometimes it's better to be like this, Don't make too much noise
wrong.
if you don't have nothing to say.
And there is nothing wrong with very good advertising.
Yes, why not?
Advertising is still one of the most powerful ways to influence consumer behavior. So we don't have anything against advertising. When it's good, it's amazing.
Yes, yes. So you're saying, with other words, not everybody, not every brand has to make a lot of content. They don't have to be obsessed with this.
And then there's different types of content.
Okay.
In some cases, you want to showcase product benefits. In other cases, you want to entertain audiences more. Well, you need to kind of define where you want to be on this axis before starting producing, because there's no point making a 2 hours film about how light our product is.
Where can we find innovation in entertainment at this moment?
Well, entertainment is defined by innovation right now. If you think about what's happening with SVOD platforms and AVOD platforms, so like from YouTube to Netflix to Amazon Prime to Hulu, these are all innovations driven by technology that has changed the way people consume entertainment content. Right?
And will the Story Lab be in these platforms? Is it easy to go in these platforms with your productions or not?
The Story Lab has very good relationship with all of these platforms. Yes. We are working on some real live projects with some of these platforms.
Okay.
But the first thing I think everybody needs to understand in our industry is to engage with these platforms. You need to start with the content.
Okay.
You need to start with, do you have the rights to content these platforms want?
Yes, yes.
Do you have the talent? Do you have the slate? Do you have the properties that this will attract audiences to these platforms? Because if not, these platforms have enough money and enough funding as they are, and I don't think any of this platform is in need of a few $100,000 from an ad agency. When you look at the billions of dollars that they have in funding good content for their benefit.
A good point for the Story Lab is that you are part of Dentsu, I guess Dentsu. Yeah. So you have the good contact, the good relations and contacts to the advertising industry, to the media industry, to the televisions. I think it's a good point. It's a good starting point for having more success than possibly others. Or not?
It's a good starting point, but it doesn't mean anything if the content, if the rights you own is not good.
Yes.
So you will never manage to force anyone to broadcast a piece of content because of the relationships you have with them at a commercial level. If the content you have is not going to be good for their schedule, if it's not going to be good for their audiences, it's going to be a lose-lose situation for everybody. So it's a good factor that we have relationships with every media owner in the world, but it doesn't mean anything unless the content we own is good. And that's why we see with Ninja Warrior, for example. Now, we have distributed Ninja Warrior to TFI, ITV, RTL, Discovery, all those big broadcasters around the world, in Spain as well now. And that's because it's a very good show.
It's a good content.
It's a good show
without advertiser. This kind,
I mean,
it's not.
We distribute it on its own merit.
Okay.
And we work with the programmers at the broadcasters, and to make sure it works for their slot, for their schedule, for their ratings. Then, if we manage to find some advertisers who want to get involved, great. But no advertiser is gonna.
Yes. The idea of this content you are saying, this series, is from you. Or it comes from you. It's an idea started by you or
Ninja Warrior.
Yes.
No.
Where's the original idea?
It's from Tokyo, from Japan.
Okay, from Japan.
From a broadcaster called Tokyo Broadcasting System, TBS.
Okay.
It's their own show. They own the show. They own the IP for 15 years now. I think.
Yes.
It's been running in Japan, and we are the distributor for Europe.
For you. Okay. You bring it.
Yeah. So we brought it to Europe.
Okay. Which are the main challenges that you will have to face in the coming years?
The main challenges are going to be finding and retaining good people and good talent. I think we have been as successful as we have been in the last 2 years because of the quality of the people we've managed to attract to the Story Lab. So I think talented people is key, is the number one priority for us. There is a lot of change happening in the industry every day. Keeping up with the pace of change is a very big challenge, but I think we're small enough, we're new enough, we're humble enough to be very flexible and agile, and we can change our go-to-market strategy depending on the situation we see around us. So talent, pace, as a third challenge going forward, we just need to keep going as fast as we're going right now. And the bigger you become, there is a fear you become slower and slower and slower. So becoming successful and big while at the same time remaining agile and fast is a challenge, and this is being driven predominantly by our people and our business model. So I think we have something good going on.
You're in the big markets, not United States, Germany, France?
We are in Germany, we are in France.
The big markets.
So our big markets are UK,
the biggest, United Kingdom, France.
UK, France, US, Russia, Germany, Canada, Australia, and hopefully Spain now.
Yes, that's what I wanted to ask you. Spain at this moment is not. How do you compare Spain with these markets?
Well, Spain launched today, so we have to give them a couple of days.
Yes, to see how it comes.
To see how it comes,
yes.
But everything is coming together very nicely here. So we have the right people, the right mentality, the right product, and the right clients, and the right relationships with broadcasters, which helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and the productions will be locally for Spain, locally productions with locally themes, international.
Yes.
How, because the Spanish people sometimes they like very much the locally things. Sometimes I think also the international. So how will you get this way?
We've spent the last couple of days with Spanish broadcasters here, trying to understand more about what they're looking for. We've already been successful in importing one international format to Spain, which is Ninja. And we've already started exporting Spanish productions internationally.
Okay.
So we want to import more international formats, but we also want to get more Spanish productions from Spanish independent producers and give them international stage. So sell them in China, sell them in Australia, sell them in the UK, etc. So we want to create value for Spanish producers, but also for Spanish broadcasters as well.
Okay, Michael. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much.